Good afternoon, all of you. Today is 2nd of October, a day on which two great personalities were born. First was the one who paved the road for our freedom, that is Mahatma Gandhi ji, and gave the slogan "Do or Die." Second was the one who became the second Prime Minister of India and gave the slogan Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. So, first of all, wish you all a very, very happy and prosperous Gandhi Jayanti and Lal Bahadur Shastri Jayanti aspirants. And let's begin our today's session. Our today's session is a very important session in modern history. More important events between 1857 to 1930. But before we proceed to those events in detail, let's understand one thing that history is a subject in which majority of the aspirants is facing basically are facing difficulties. And difficulty due to that there are many dates, many kingdoms, many kings. So it is very difficult for all of us to learn. And I totally agree with you. Even when I was studying, we used to say in like we Hindi we say that history, geography, badi bewafa, रात को पढ़ो सुबह सफा. No matter how much you study history, geography, and eventually it all get vanished. So how to study? Now understand what my way of teaching is. When I say history, divide the history into two parts. The divide the word into two parts. One is high and the other is story. So one thing is very very clear that history is a story. So if we study history in the form of a story, it becomes one of the easiest subjects. So this is clear that we will study history in the form of a story so that it becomes very easy for us. One thing. Second thing, when I'm going to teach you history, this the you can say history. We have three portions: ancient history, medieval history, and a modern history. In modern history, we say Indian freedom struggle. Indian freedom struggle basically we are talking about of you can say era between 1857 to 1947. So in 1857 to 1947, we are talking about Indian freedom struggle, and our today topic, which is 1857 to 1930, important events lie between this era only. So what I'm going to tell you, trying to understand, between 1857 to 1930, there are various, you can say, events which took place, and whenever there are events which are talking which basically took place, there are various sub events which also took place, and a quite detailing about the event can be there. So if we say this is the event which is taking place, so this is a, you can say, detailing portion, say which viceroy was there at that point of time, what was the, you can say, act which was passed, and many other things, slogan and many other things which were at that point of time happening, at that point of time were happening. Various parties were formed. So my today focus will be on the events which are taking place. I will be dealing it in a story format, and my whole focus will be on two things. First is what happened, and second is why it happened. What happened and why it happened. My focus will be on two things. So I will not go deep into the viceroy and the acts and the party and many other things. I will be dealing with the story format of the events, what happened and why it happened. Another thing, and now we are very very sorted that history is a story which we will deal in the event wise format so as to give you a brief idea that what happened between this time frame known as Indian freedom struggle from 1857 to 1930. Today I'm going to deal with this today. So let's begin. Understand, aspirants, these are the few events which happened between this era. The first to start with, the first one is Spoy Mutiny. Spoy Mutiny is 1857, or we can say 1857 revolt. VD Savarkar, also called it as first revolt of independence, or as in Hindi we say Azadi ki pehli ladai. In 1885, we say there was like formation of Congress. In 1905, there was a partition of Bengal between East and West Bengal. In 1906, after Bengal partition, Surendranath Banerjee started Swadeshi movement. In 1906, there was a party known as All India Muslim League who formed in Dhaka. Today is Bangladesh. In 1907, there was a division in you can say in Congress between moderate and extremists. In 1911, Bengal was reunited by the you can say announcement which was made by King George V visit. So these are the few events. There can be many more events, but I'm telling you the most important event which should be known to an aspirant preparing for SSC, CHSL, CGL, CPO examinations. So what was the you can say what was the event which happened after 1911? They were like Gadar Party formation 1913. 1915 Mahatma Gandhi came to India. In 1917, see from 1917 onwards, 1917 till 1947, this era this whole era is known as Gandhian era. 1917 to 1947, this whole era is known as Gandhian era. So 1917 Champaran movement, 1919 Jallianwala Bagh, 1920 non-cooperation, 1922 Chauri Chaura incident near Gorakhpur, 1923 pro changers, no changers led to the formation of Swaraj Party and HRA Party. In 1925, this HRA party, and you can say, led to a conspiracy known as Kakori conspiracy. In 1927, ending on 1928, he says Simon Commission was there. In 1928, Lala Lajpat Rai death. In 1928, HSRA formation was there. In 1929, Bhagat Singh and Batukeshwar Dutt threw a bomb in assembly and then eventually they surrendered. In 1930, Mahatma Gandhi Dandi March and Mahatma Gandhi civil disobedience movement was there. So these were the series of events which took place. I'm going to tell you a brief intro of all these events. You can say in the coming slides. So I hope till now it is very clear to all of you. If it is clear, just do a thumbs up in the comment section. Now let's begin further. So first of all, we can see 1857 revolt. In 1857 revolt, aspirants, what is one of the most important thing which we need to understand is that nomenclature. Many historians have given different names to this revolt. See, this revolt is also known as Spoil Mutiny. This revolt is also known as you can say First War of Independence by B.D. Savarkar. R.C. Majumdar said it was neither the first nor was it national nor was it a war of independence. R. Holmes sir wrote it like a clash of civilization and barbarians. Benjamin sir wrote it like national revolt. So it can be asked in our SSC examination. You can say a two-marker question can come that 1857 revolt can be known by which of the following names. Yeah, or it can be asked that this name was given by whom. And one of the very favorite question which SSC asks that who started this revolt. So always remember it was Mangal Pandey. Mangal Pandey, Barakpur, West Bengal. 29th of March 1857. 29th of March 1857 started this revolt. But whenever it is asked that from where it is started, it was started from Meerut. So started from Meerut, but who started it? It started by Mangal Pandey. But although Mangal Pandey is not from Meerut, he is from Barakpur. Now something must be struck in your mind. That is that why Mangal Pandey started the revolt. And the answer to this lies in the immediate cause, lies in the Tatkaleen Karan. What was the Tatkaleen Karan, aspirants? The immediate factor was the introduction of a rifle known as Enfield rifle. The Enfield rifle was the new rifle in which the cartridge had to be bitten off before loading it into the gun. यानी कारतूस को छीलना पड़ता था गन में लोड करने के लिए और जो कवरिंग थी it was believed to be covered with cow and pig meat. Now Muslims and Hindus both feelings were hurted because Muslims will not going to eat pig meat and the Hindus you can say will not eat meat. So this kind of you can say introduction of a infield rifle where cartridge has to be bitten off with a mouth. The covering has to be bitten off with a mouth और उस covering में अगर meat है तो वो हट कर गया feelings को Hindus की भी और Muslims की भी, and this was the immediate cause that why Mangal Pandey on 29th of March was you can say revolted against the British Raj. But there were many other reasons like religious reasons, economic reasons, political reasons. When we will deal 1857 revolt in detail, I will tell you in that. But for you can say superficial level, understand in immediate cause was this only. But eventually what happened? We fought and we lost. The impact was very you can say very relevant of this revolt. What was the impact? Then Indian administration was passed to the British crown. I repeat, भारतीय प्रशासन का नियंत्रण चला गया था ब्रिटिश क्राउन के हाथ में. अब इसका मतलब क्या है? व्हाट डज दिस मीन? It simply means Government of India Act 1858. What happened in the sad state? Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth came to India. Darbar was organized in Allahabad. And what eventually happened was like East India Company was sent back to England. The company was like, it was sent back to England. Officially, it established crown rule in India. Queen Elizabeth came to the India, and this all was like a farman was given. Two important persons were appointed. One was Secretary of State, another was Viceroy of India. Secretary of State was a person who will sit in Britain, pass the you can say laws on the British Parliament, which will be you can say implemented by the Viceroy of India. So Secretary of State, the first Secretary of State was Edward Henry Stanley, and the first Viceroy of India was Lord Canning. So we are very clear right now that there are 2 to 3 important events which took place in Government of India in 1858 after the revolt. The first was East India Company was sent back to England. Second was British Crown was the you can say established in India. Queen Elizabeth came to India and a Darbar was organized in Allahabad, and Secretary of State and Viceroy of India, there were the two posts now newly formed. Now the point is that Lord Canning, now whenever in the examination it is asked who is the last Governor General of India? Who is the last Governor General of India? Who is the last Governor General of India? You will always write Lord Canning. When it is asked Viceroy of India, first Viceroy Lord Canning, last Governor General of India, again Lord Canning. Both the situation to write Lord Canning. Even if it is asked who was the Governor General present in India when there was a revolt of 1857, then again Lord Canning. So there can be multiple questions, but only one answer: Lord Canning. I think till now it is very clear. Let's move further and understand formation of Congress. Now, the foremost question which you have to understand, aspirants, like what is Congress? So, Congress is group of people. Group of people. Now, my question is why there was a need of Congress? Why Congress? Why it was formed? It was formed by A.O. Hume. Yeah, we used to say Alan Octavian Hume. It was formed by A.O. Hume. Now, why A.O. Hume formed it? There were various reasons. People say he was a civil servant, he was a very kind man, but there was a one very important concept known as safety valve theory. Which theory? Understand? Safety valve theory. This simply means that Britishers used Congress as a bridge. Understand? Safety valve theory. Britishers used Congress as a bridge between Indians and Britishers, that they are using Congress for two purposes. First, Congress is used by the Britishers to send information, to implement rules of Britishers in India, so that whatever the decisions they are taking, they can be implemented, they can be told to the Indians in their language, which are easy to understand by the Indians. And what Indians are thinking, what you can say, what Indians are thinking, are they thinking of revolting against the Britishers? Whatever their thought process is, they can be transferred to the Britishers, so that if there is any outbreak of revolt or any chances of outbreak of revolt, it can be curbed out by the Britishers in the early stages. So, as in pressure cooker, we have safety valve so that it doesn't get burst out. Same happens in the with the Congress, that it was made by Britishers so that these people who are Indians, they can work for the welfare of the Britishers, not for the welfare of the Indians. But eventually, Congress held Indians in getting independence. Of how it held, I will tell you later on. But understand first of all the formation of the Congress. The formation can be further, we can divide it into three parts. The first is M, another is E, and the other is GE. M stands for moderates. In Hindi, we say Naramdan. E for extremist, Garamdal, and GE for Gandhian era. When I say moderates, the moderates were the one who were, you can say, who started the Congress or formed the Congress, like Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Surendranath Banerjee, and you can say Badruddin Tayyabji, Dadabhai Naroji, right? These were the W.C. Banerjee. So these were the people who were like moderate in their thinking, highly civilized, writing letter to the Britishers and telling them what to do, what not to do. But Britishers are really understand, really following what they are saying, telling them. The answer was no. So Britishers were using them for their own benefits, but they were the one who handled Congress for the starting 20 years. Then eventually, after partition of Bengal, there was new, you can say, kind of approach which was there in the Congress known as extremist approach, and it basically started from 1905 till 1900. You can say 16 or 17, and and we can say a trio named as Lal Bal Pal. Lal Bal Pal, you must have heard of that. Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, or Bipin Chandra Pal. These three trio use expensive, basically different measures like writing slogans, uh, uh, editorial of national newspapers. You can say organizing seminars, organizing festivals. They can talk with the people and let them know that how Britishers are using, you can say, wealth of India so as to increase the wealth of Britain. That how they are draining us. That how they are using Indians for their own welfare. So we are, you can say, accumulation of masses. We are making masses aware of the problem in detail. So these are the people who are using different measures like hunger, strike, lockouts, but they are not, you can say, using gun for their, you can say, as a method. That are used by their peoples like, you can say, HRA and HSRA ones, like Bhagat Singh, Ashfaqullah Khan, Ram Prasad Bismil. They were different. उनको हम लोग कहते हैं क्रांतिकारी. ठीक है, but these are not the क्रांतिकारी, you can say revolutionary ones. These are extremists. So revolutionary is one step ahead than extremist. I hope it is clear to you right now. Now, what is Gandhian era? Mahatma Gandhi came to India in 1950. So Gandhian era basically started from 1917 till 1947. Whatever happens in India in this 30 years tenure was, you can say, more or less, you can say, focus on Mahatma Gandhi philosophy of ahimsa, of passive resistance, Swadeshi, boycott, and so on and so forth. So this is what eventually Congress is all about. There are many sessions which are important. We will deal later on when we will deal Congress in detail. Now let's understand, after 20 years, in something around 1905, what happened? Partition of Bengal was there by Lord Curzon. So he was the one, that Viceroy of India, who said what is done cannot be undone, and so as to curb, you can say, the you can say now, so as to curb that, uh, uh, the educated, uh, Bengali youth, the power of, uh, educated Bengali youth. What Lord Curzon did was he divided Bengal into two parts. One was one being, you can say, West Bengal, capital was Calcutta, and the another was, you can say, East Bengal, capital was Dhaka. Dhaka, which later came to known as Dhaka. West Bengal capital was Calcutta, and East Bengal capital was Dhaka, later known as Dhaka. In West Bengal, say in this region, it was dominated by Hindus, and in East Bengal, this region dominated by Muslims. So the point is that they are doing divide and rule policy. What they are doing divide and rule policy. But when it is asked to the that why are they are doing this, they said no, 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 we are following administrative reasons because of the Bengal is too big to rule, so that's why we are dividing it. But after this, what happened was like Rabindranath Tagore wrote Amar Sonar Bangla, which later became the national anthem of Bangladesh. People was like Muslims were tying Rakhi to the Hindus. People like were quite agitated. And Surendranath Banerjee in 1906 started a movement known as you can say Swadeshi movement from Town Hall, Calcutta. So Surendranath Banerjee started a movement known as Swadeshi movement in 1906 from Town Hall, Calcutta. Town Hall, Calcutta. From Town Hall, Calcutta, to basically this movement focuses on four major, you can say, pillars. First was the Swadeshi, that we have to adopt Swadeshi goods, and we have to boycott the, you can say, foreign goods. We have to boycott the foreign goods. We have to, you can say, become self-reliant. We have to become self-reliant. And not only this, we have to be like passive resistance. Passive resistance means that we will not be following you can say hinsa, we will be following ahimsa. We will be resisting against them, but we will not use violence as a means of a resistance. It will be like passive resistance. So these are the measures which are later on used by Mahatma Gandhi as well in his you can say non-cooperation movement, Savinya Avigya, the civil disobedience movement, and Bharat Chodo Andolan, that is Quit India movement. Swadeshi, boycott, self-reliance, and passive resistance. Swadeshi movement, Lal Bal Pal, Lala Lajpat Rai, Bipin Chandra Pal, and Lala Lajpat Rai, Bipin Chandra Pal, and Bal Gangadhar Tilak. They also took active participation. Lal, Bal, and Pal took active participation in Swadeshi movement. Just remember this thing. This is really, really, really important. Now, so as to corrupt the Congress. Achha, just before we move further, Dadabhai Naoroji in 1906 became the president of Congress and supported Swadeshi. So there can be a question in your examination that who supported in 1906 Swadeshi. It was Dadabhai Naoroji who supported Swadeshi movement. In 1907 aspirants, try to understand, there was a division in Congress known as Surat split. कौन सा split? Surat split, in which moderates versus extremists was there. Moderate versus extremists, you can say Naram Dal versus Garam Dal. What happened eventually? Moderate told extremists to leave Congress. That extremists were told to leave Congress, and because Congress was eventually formed by the moderates, and moderate and extremists were having clash of their opinions. Moderates were the one who wanted Swadeshi movement to shut down and to believe what Congress, what Britishers were saying, as they were saying, to shut it down so that they can bring some, you can say, some laws for the welfare of the Indians. On the other hand, extremists were saying, no, 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 let's not shut it down because once it is shut down, they are not going to bring any laws for our own welfare. So these were the, you can say, two different thought processes going on. And eventually, Lal Bal Pal has to leave Congress. One thing. Second thing, in 1906, Muslim League, All India, All India Muslim League, All India Muslim League was also formed in Dhaka. All India Muslim League was also formed in Dhaka. You can Salimullah Khan was there, Aga Khan was there. Aga Khan became the first president of All India Muslim League, and this is a very important question. So, what happened after 1907? In 1911, what happened eventually was when King George V came to India. King George V came to India. He made basically he was facing extreme aggression from people of India. So what he did, he made two good announcements. One was like that Bengal has to be reunited. Bengal has to be reunited. And second was like you can say division of that is transfer of, I must say, transfer of capital from Delhi to Calcutta to Delhi. Transfer of capital from transfer of we can say transfer of capital from Calcutta to Delhi. Calcutta to Delhi. So there is a catch here. If it is said that when it is transferred in 1911. No, 1912. Transferred in 1912. Announcement. Now understand, say one thing. Announcement. It was announced in 1911. It will be transferred, but eventually transferred in 1912. Just remember this, by Lord Hardinge. By Lord Hardinge. And when he was transferring it, he was basically he was attacked by a bomb by, you can say, Raj Bihari Ghosh, which we say a Delhi Lahore conspiracy. And later on, he, you can say, left India and just flew to Japan. And that is a different sort of the story. So we are very, very sorted till 1911. That what happened and what was the sequence, why it happened, we are very, very clear right now. Now understand that what happened 1913. There was a person known as Lala Hardayal. Lala Hardayal and Sohan Singh Bukhna. Sohan Singh Bukhna and Lala Hardayal formed a party in San Francisco, America. San Francisco, America, for the welfare of people living in Canada, for the welfare of Indians living in Canada, and so as to support Indian freedom struggle from outside. They form a party known as Gadar Party. Many Punjabi families were going to Canada, so Canada government has put restrictions on the rights of the Indians living there. So as to provide, you can say, provide them their rights, they have made a party in America, and so as to provide support Indians in the Indian freedom struggle from outside. They found a party known as Gadar Party, but Gadar Party could not do much as all the volunteers were arrested by the police in India with the help of Defence India Act 1950. Defence India Act 1915. Defence India Act 1915 became later on Role Act. Just remember one thing. Later on it became Role Act 1919. So Role Act 1919 was earlier known as Defence India 1915. So now there can be two questions. 1915 Defence India Act came to be known as Role Act, or Role Act is only known as Defence India Act. तो वी से ना कि बिना वकील, बिना अपील, बिना दलील का कानून, रोल एक्ट एक्ट। और रोल एक्ट का पहला वर्जन क्या था? डिफेंस इंडिया एक्ट। और रोल एक्ट एक्ट जहां आया वहां आपका क्या आ जाएगा? जलियांवाला बाग 1919। वी विल डील विद इट लेटर ऑन, बट टिल नाउ वी आर वेरी वेरी सॉर्टेड। नाउ व्हाट हैपेंड इन 1915? In 1915, Mahatma Gandhi came to India from South Africa. From South Africa, Mahatma Gandhi came to India on the calling of his political guru, name you can say Gopal Krishna Gokhale. So Mahatma Gandhi political guru is Gopal Krishna Gokhale. Gopal Krishna Gokhale said to Mahatma Gandhi that Gandhi came to India. Now you are now came to India and see that what wonders you can do in Indian politics. So Mahatma Gandhi came to India. Mahatma Gandhi basically understand, he is known as also with the name of Bapu, Mahatma, and Father of the Nation. When we say Bapu, Mahatma, and Father of the Nation, understand one thing. Bapu name was given by Jawaharlal Nehru. Mahatma game was given by Rabindranath Tagore, and Father of the Nation game was given by Subhash Chandra Bose. Subhash Chandra Bose. And remember one thing. He is also known as Nanga Fakir by Winston Churchill. So there are various of Mahatma Gandhi. He will study Mahatma Gandhi in detail. He is one of the very most important, you can say, portion of modern history. Then you have to understand he is one of the most important portion of modern history. And when we say any journals or newspaper which he wrote, so Indian Opinion is the paper which he has written in South Africa. Indian Opinion. It is asked by the SST in various, you can say, examination that which newspaper or journal written by Mahatma Gandhi in South Africa. It was Indian Opinion. Mahatma Gandhi also wrote, you can say, a paper known as, you can say, Navjeevan, Harijan, and many others. Autobiography, My Experiment with Truth. So Mahatma Gandhi came on the date, that is 9 Jan 1915. When I say 9 Jan 1915, this is right now known as Pravasi Divas. Pravasi Divas. So Pravasi Divas is, you can say, every year celebrated on 9th of January. We are, you can say, giving, you can say, uh, people who are helping India to grow, although they are NRI. We are you can say congratulating them. We are giving them you can say representation, and we are understanding that although they are NRI, but they are citizen of India. They are helping India to grow. So from now here onwards, the Mahatma Gandhi first of all will go and travel and see that what in you can say rural India, modern India, and then from 1917 onwards, the Gandhian era will begin properly. Now let's understand that what happened in Lucknow Pact. In Lucknow Pact is one of the very important pact, and there are two important events which took place. One was that the reunification, that moderate and extremists came together. Moderate and extremists who were divided in 1907, that they were that they came together in 1916 again. And second thing, Muslim League, Muslim League and Congress, they also basically said to come together. They also basically came together. They also came together, although none of them got merged into each other. But moderate and extremists came together which were divided in 1907. And Muslim League or Congress, like they are now they are like going to share a stage with each other, now going to support each other demand, because they are understanding united we stand and divided we fall, because Britishers are not listening to Muslim League now. So they were like, let's support Congress, and so Congress was like, let's support them. So this is how Lucknow Pact was another successful pact, and it was led by you can say Ambika Charan Majumdar. So who was the president of Congress? That was Ambika Charan Majumdar. So we have covered, you can say, maximum portion today. So if the class is getting a bit too long, we will keep it till here only, aspirants. Later or later years, like from 1917 onwards, I will deal in our next class. So till now, I think we are very sorted, we are very clear. For any doubt, ask me in the comment section. Do prepare proper notes, and always remember, history is a story. Just read like a story. And thank you for watching this class. Bye bye. Take care. Thank you.